Ice Cream Man opens in US theaters on August 7th, 2026, one day after its German release. Eli Roth builds the film around a very simple horror premise. A charismatic ice cream vendor arrives in the idyllic town of Bayleen Bay, and his treats have disastrous effects on the local children. Soon, the safest looking part of summer becomes the source of chaos. That setup is instantly readable and seems perfectly suited to Roth's taste for black comedy, gross-out horror, and deliberate bad behavior. At first, the contrast works. Bright suburbia, an old-fashioned ice cream truck, and childhood innocence are pushed against increasingly grotesque imagery. A few of the splatter ideas have genuine visual imagination, and Roth clearly knows how to stage tasteless genre spectacle. In its best moments, the movie has a knowingly ridiculous energy. The problem is that Ice Cream Man treats its central concept like one joke that keeps getting repeated at a higher volume. Instead of building suspense or expanding the rules of its nightmare, it increasingly settles for another shock. Ari Millen is effective as the title character largely because of his presence. His restrained, almost silent performance gives the Ice Cream Man an unease that is more interesting than many of the later excesses. Charlie Zeltzer also stands out among the younger cast. Most of the surrounding characters, however, remain remarkably thin. Parents, children, and residents of Bayleen Bay often feel less like people than setups for the next effect. That becomes a serious problem because even outrageous horror needs consequences that matter emotionally. There are potentially sharper ideas underneath the chaos. The movie brushes against consumer culture, unhealthy appetites, screen addiction, and a society constantly demanding stronger stimulation. But it rarely stays with any of them long enough to become meaningful satire. Provocation too often replaces observation. The production itself also became part of the conversation shortly before release. Roth acknowledged that artificial intelligence was used in a small portion of a few scenes after earlier comments had suggested that the related animated sequence was created in a more traditional hand-drawn way. For a movie positioned as independent genre filmmaking, that clarification matters. The issue is not simply whether a new tool was used, it is also about transparency and how audiences understand what they are being shown. That is especially interesting because Ice Cream Man is being released through Roth's new company, The Horror Section, a venture created partly to escape studio interference. The freedom is visible, but so is the downside of having fewer restraints. The premise is strong, Millen has the right presence, and isolated moments hit the intended nasty comic tone. Without stronger characters, sharper satire, or sustained tension though, the movie melts surprisingly fast. That leaves Ice Cream Man at 3 out of 10.